Good morning. It is bright and early. It's 5 a.m. here in Las Vegas. We've got the truck loaded, ready to go. And we're taking over the YouTube channel for the week. And if you thought the last couple weeks were wild, you're gonna want to stick around for this adventure. If you guys were just catching up on our YouTube video from the past weekend, we did blow a tire at the finish line, and it did hurt the car. So what we are doing, I'll give you a little rundown, is we've got the car loaded, and Jesse and I are headed to Indy with the car that we raced here in Las Vegas. We've got Blaine on an airplane headed back to Charlotte to pick up the car that we ran in Dallas. He is going to meet us in Indy so that we can front half that car, and we are going to switch everything over from the Las Vegas car to the car that we ran in Dallas to the new front half. We're going to load it all up, and we're going to drive ourselves back out to Pomona for the last race of the countdown, which I think is about a 35-hour drive from Indy. So we've got some driving to do. We got a race car to build, but it's all good because we got to do what we got to do. So hang out with us for the week, and we'll bring you along for the ride. Well, I just pulled the brakes on an 11-hour shift. We are in Tucumcari, I think that's how you say it, New Mexico. We did stop earlier today in Gallup, New Mexico for fuel, and I totally spaced on bringing you guys along for that, but sometimes when you get to the truck stops, they are crazy busy. So you're trying to get in, you're trying to get fueled, you're trying to log your 30-minute break, you're trying to get snacks, you're trying to check on the race car, it gets crazy. And we're trying to get to Indy, right? We're trying to be efficient. So I'm pulling the brakes, Jesse's checking on the race car. I'm gonna grab some dinner. Jesse's gonna take over driving. I'm probably gonna take a nap, and I'll catch you guys in the morning and we'll see where we're at. We are indeed blocking the door, but if you notice on that sign, it does say DSR, and we are here at Don Schumacher Racing. We've been about 28 hours on the road, which is actually pretty good because we only lost an hour and a half in time with stops and breaks that we had to take. We stopped at about 1 a.m. last night somewhere in Oklahoma, don't ask me. I got up mid-nap, helped Jesse fuel the truck, grabbed some midnight snacks, went back, took a nap, and I picked up and finished the shift off starting just on the outside of St. Louis this morning. So 28 hours, really not that bad. We did lose 3 hours for the time difference. So it is about 12:45 here in Indy. Blaine got in very early hours of this morning into Indy and has dropped the chassis off, and I'm sure they're in there at work already. We are looking at some construction here, so we're looking to figure out where we're gonna park the rig, get a walk around stretch, get a game plan, and get after it as soon as we can. But we have made it to Indy. All right, here's the car from Vegas. Jesse's about to open that door. Our other chassis is on the jig with some frame rails in it already. I am completely out of breath because it is 32 degrees outside right now, and there are actually snow flurries in the air. But Jesse and I got the car unloaded. Probably gonna call it a day once we get her inside and hit it hard tomorrow. Jesse, what's it doing outside?
It's snowing.
It's legitimately, yeah, you could see it. Woo! All right, we're unloaded. Jesse's putting a couple things we threw up on top of the trailer away. We're gonna shut this door. We're gonna get inside and get to work on this car. All right, you guys, my storage booted me off my phone because I'm running out of storage on my phone. But tomorrow we're gonna get this stripped so we can what, Jesse? Build that one. So, all right, it is day one here at the shop. We are starting to strip everything off of this car. Blaine, how was your trip up here? What did that look like for you?
It looked like driving a box truck, U-Haul box truck for probably 10 hours through the night. and it didn't have cruise control. It didn't want to go any faster than 67 miles an hour. The wind noise was horrible. But other than that, I mean, we made it here.
We made it here?
We made it.
So the car got here. They are going down the chassis right now, welding everything onto the front half. Jesse, what are you up to?
Doing the rear side of it. Basically putting all this stuff on that car.
Again. I'm back here crack checking the rear end. We're gonna get some spindles swapped over and get this rear end ready to go in the car that is getting built now. And we're hoping to have that to us early this afternoon. And we're just gonna keep pushing. All right, midday update. We're gonna go and grab some lunch here. But we've got uprights in. They are welded, so the front half is really coming along. In the meantime, Blaine and Jesse have been starting to run some of our race pack boxes and get some of the stuff on the back half. So everything's coming along. We already got the plate on. You can see more wires on the other side that they've already ran. And then as we come over here to the other car, we got one side of the rear end done with a new spindle on it because that spindle was junk. We replaced the axle in it, crack checked it, and we're swapping rotors out. But as you can see, they've pretty much cleared all the wires off of this, got it all rolled up into the management tray, ready to be transferred over to that car. Blaine, where did John and Jesse go? See, John is here. He just manages to hide every time I get the camera out. But we're getting there, right?
Getting there.
I'm ready for some lunch, for sure. I'm hungry. All right, we'll take a quick break and we'll get back with you guys at the end of the day. All right, there she is. We got a new front half on the original car that we have been running this year. We are moving over into Pawleys Bay, thankfully, to be able to swap the rest of everything over. And we're actually gonna get our rig backed in here as well. But it is just about a little after 5 o'clock, I believe. And it is done, completely done, ready for us to rock. As you can see, we've already got a lot of it built. We've been working on that today as they were welding the front half together and getting everything prepped. We got a block and we got a rear end all ready to drop in this. And we're probably gonna call it a day, come in tomorrow, run the wires, get everything zip tied, looking tight and right, and finish up whatever we've got to. All right, it's the middle of the day on Thursday. We're actually getting ready to go to lunch. If Clay chooses to use the time lapse that I took, John's convinced it's pretty boring, but that is about 27 seconds, and then it's truly 4 hours of us wiring the car. So we are gonna head to lunch, get some food, because we're all a little bit hangry, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna clean up and zip tie, make this all look pretty. But the car is officially wired, yes?
Yep, just besides 3 airlines for the push button. I'll put that on. Other than that, there you go. Throttle cable too, you need that, stomp on that loud pedal.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So we'll come back, we'll get this all cleaned up and looking nice, zip tied to the car. But yeah, 4 hours and about 27 seconds, and it just looks like us, running around a lot. But probably the most boring time lapse I could have done. I wish I had thought about it yesterday, but hey, I'm new to taking over the YouTube channel, and I was trying to stay out of Nick and them guys' way in the chassis shop and just keep our heads down and keep moving. But we are 2 days in to the third build of the season, technically. And this one's going a little bit smoother because this car already had a hard line, like a hard clutch line ran, a brake line ran. We had a lot of the trays and everything already pre-fitted to this car, whereas when we had to build the spare car, some of that stuff we hadn't gotten to yet. So it took us a little bit longer to run the clutch line and everything through the chassis. As you can see, we ran a lot of our hard lines through the chassis all the way to the back of the car, where it comes out here. And the spare car didn't have some of that yet. Now it does. So it was a little easier for us to transfer everything back over to the original car that we built because everything had already been on that car. But we're definitely getting there. We will see you after lunch at the end of the day, probably. All right, Jesse, what are we? Done. Done. As you can see, the other car is empty. This car's race ready. We got a couple small things to do tomorrow, right?
About a day.
Yeah. We got like the mud flap. They're going to mount the mud flap tomorrow?
Yeah, mud flap, fix the belly pad. Other than that, we're ready to go.
This is awesome. This is essentially, we've had one full day with the car. One day we were kind of putting things on while it was up on the chassis jig. And so tomorrow we're gonna get these last couple things finished up. We're gonna be race ready, load it in the box, take a couple days off, yeah?
Yes.
Take a breather, and then drive the 35 hours to Pomona for that final race in the countdown. Clay's out at the SEMA show now. I'm sure creating some awesome content for you guys. But the last thing you're gonna see from us is this car going in the box tomorrow once we finish it up. So we'll check in with you again tomorrow. All right, you guys, this is gonna be the last day for us in the shop. We've got the second car headed over to the chassis shop. So this would have been the car that we hurt in Las Vegas. They're gonna throw it up on the jig, see how it's looking and get it fixed up for us. Probably definitely gonna get a front half. You know, the specs are changing for next year, so it's probably gonna end up with a front half no matter what way we look at it. And they're gonna check out the back half and see what they can do for us. So they're bringing it over here to the jig, helping the guys here in the fab shop get that set up there. All right, YouTube rookie here again. I cut the video short because the fab shop guys have got some music playing. We can't have that, so I had to cut it short. But I'm back over here. I turned our music down so I could talk to you guys. We've had a lot of help this week. Obviously, Nick and the guys over at the chassis shop have been a huge help this week. They've let us into their toolboxes when we needed stuff. Obviously, they got our front half done in killer time, giving us enough time to get this car put together as quickly as we could so we could have some time off. Huge shout out to Paul Lee's guys for letting us back into their bay. This has been huge, having the trailer inside. Definitely a little more efficient than us walking outside and inside and outside and inside 1.5 million times. And the Matco guys, some of them have been here, Antron's guys. And when we didn't have some of the tools or the things we needed to take this apart, because we did leave our other trailer in Vegas, so some of the things you don't think of until you get here and you need them, like tools for the rear end, I didn't grab the rear end toolbox out of the other trailer. They've been a huge help in making sure we have what we need. So really grateful for everybody here in Brownsburg. But we're gonna start the loading process soon. Hopefully I can set up a time lapse for you guys, because there is only 4 of us, so I can't hang out with you on YouTube all day. But we're really excited that we got this done. We're gonna have a couple days off, and we're gonna probably leave on Tuesday around 5 a.m. to get ourselves out to California on time for that last race. All right, it is noon on Friday. The doors are getting shut. Race car's up there, ready to go. So Blaine, you want to finish off the video?
Thank you guys for liking, watching, subscribing, and commenting, and we'll see you in the next one.